Good afternoon from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well again. Sending loads of love as usual. Many requests for more fights. And all it takes, sometimes you lot jog my memory because I forget certain names. I've met so many over the years that when you remind me of certain people, I go, oh yeah, him. Oh yeah, what about him? Oh, I remember him. He had a fight with and that one and this one and that one. And then I remember. You see what I mean? So much. Sometimes I feel I'm traumatized by all the stuff that I saw along those years, unless there's too many to choose from, as time went on, of course. And this comes from the 90s. So we're going to take it all the way back to Swaleside, 1997 to 1998. Right? Now, Swaleside was like a Cat A dispersal, an absolute lunatic asylum. Anyone that was in the war zone there, that was in the mix every day, you would have had to have had battles at some stage. Now, also, as we know in prison, the ones that have been there, and maybe some outside have heard, that during certain sentences, there are courses, offender courses, that are offered or suggested or have to be completed by certain inmates according to the risks of their crimes and their past and that kind of stuff. Now, the kind of courses, enhanced thinking skills, anger management, and of course the drug courses, rap courses, etc., etc. Now, this thing was a bit different because this course, you had to be on an isolated wing with only the men that were on the course at that time, for reasons obviously to keep you away from general population so that there's no outside influences to you completing the course and really not having too many distractions with what they place importance on to find out more about you and to get the best out of you, if you get what you along those lines, if you get what I mean. So, well, 97, 98, round about that time, George Ellis is on there, Kushti from Battersea's on there. Really a man I really liked. Kushti, who was proper stuff as well and could write, have it. Also on there was Desi Kavanagh around at that time as well. Also Georgie Ellis as well, a well-known armed blagger from way back in the day. And on this particular day, also was Ray Davis, aka Ripper, originally from Nottingham. But I saw him a couple of times during the 90s with my brief stays out on the outside down in Labrador Grove with a young lady called Cass, who we used to graft with. When we say graft, we mean steal with and do bad things that on Yami BTV we know that I used to, and many people that watch this channel have done as well. So it's not an honest day's work, but it's criminal activity, and I put Ray Davis as a great earner during that life, meaning that he used to go out and come back with loads of money pretty quickly, right? So I knew him as a top grafter, tall, 6 foot odd. He's in books as well, Ray. Now, Ray was quiet kind of thing, very brooding and very moody and thing, but I liked him, if you get what I mean. But a very serious man, who not many would challenge, if you get what I mean. Also there at that time, Tony Zomparelli, whose dad is a legendary figure in a lot of criminal books as well, maybe even The Craze, I think he's mentioned there as well, from the East End of London. So during those groups, what you find is some men are more vocal on the groups than others. Like the facilitator asks questions, and people like Tony Zomparelli and maybe me sometimes answer the questions quickly and intelligently, better maybe than a lot of other men in the room. Or maybe there are other intelligent men in the room who know the answers, who don't feel the need to answer before anybody else does. So you know that you might not get to be the flavour of the month while others are sitting there, especially men that might not know the answers, who feel a little bit more inferior about not knowing what the question means and how to answer it. It's a familiar thing in jail as well, and it causes loads of arguments and distaste and silent hatred that really doesn't really warrant it, if you get what I mean. So after one of those days' sessions, we're out by the pool table, argument develops between Ray Davies and Tony Zomparelli. Now, Ray's taller, bigger, more weight. Tony's a bit taller than me, but can have a right row. So they have a little couple of words. Tony Zomparelli offers Ray out. Yeah, what? Do you want to go in the video room, do ya? Ray got out of his chair. I said, yeah, all right, come we go then. Right. His co-defendant was there, George Ellis, right? And 5, 6, 7, 8 others as well. We all go piling into the video room. Them days, I got the ponytail. I think I'm Steven Seagal. I'm built like that, right? So if your name's not down, you're not coming in and all that kind of stuff. So we've all gone into the video room, but I like them both. Not really that unusual for me, if you get what I mean. So I'm thinking, right? Tony Zomparelli's like, I heard that he might have been in the army or something like that. So I knew that throughout legendary status and history that he could have a right row, right? Because I'd heard about fights that he'd had and won. So I was kind of a bit worried for Ray, even though that he was bigger. Because though I knew that Ray was a bad man with certain things and all that, and obviously could look after himself, but I didn't, when it comes to the fighting level, I wasn't so sure if he would be ready, even though Tony Zomparelli was a little bit smaller, if you get what I mean. So we're all in the video room. They've gone into the corner. Now, what I noticed with a lot of fights in prison, there's never a lot of bobbing and weaving, whether you can fight or not, and, you know, keeping your distance and trying to be cagey like you're in the boxing ring. It often ends in a full-up trade-up. I'll take yours and you take mine. A lot of fights in prison go that way, if you get what I mean, and last man standing and that kind of stuff, right? So, straight away, Tony, like a man, crash, 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 bang. Ray's on the back wall, throws his 3 or 4, 4, 4. This is going on for at least 2-3 minutes, right? And they're both standing up firm, right? So Ray starts sticking out his left hand. Tony starts trying to go underneath. It gets into a little wrestle. They start pushing each other off and that kind of stuff. And then it seems to reverse a little bit. And it seems like Tony Zomparelli is now on the wall. And Ray is at the same kind of pace as he was when the fight started. Tony's still giving it. But what I noticed was that he started to slow down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and his hands started dropping, blah, 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 blah. Uncle Yami, like I always seems to get myself in these kind of problems, right? Just as it looked like, you know what I mean, it might be coming to an end. And I don't know whether, it looked to me like it was coming to an end. So what I did was I got in the middle and I said, nah, look, you might get nicked. It's a course, you're both going to get thrown off. You both need to do the course and blah, blah. Both of them were bloodied up. But Ray was still standing strong, if you get what I mean. So it got broken up and Tony walked out, Ray walked out, they went back to their cells. And when I went past Ray's cell, he went to me, Yami, why did blood? Are you stopping the fight as I'm just about? I said, look, Ray. I said, no. I was thinking about the course and blah, blah, blah. He said, nah, Yami, man. The man offered me out. You got to leave it to the end and blah. So I was all right, big man. All right, my dude. But at the end of the day, you still need to. I tried to use the course as an excuse, but really and truly, I didn't want no one to get hurt again. You know, you got to be honest about this kind of stuff. Then I saw Tony Zomparelli. And he said to me, Yami, you're a good man, you know, you're like proper old school. You know what I mean? You know how to stop it, you know how to do it and all that. And I went, yeah, I know, Tony, I don't know whether he was thinking that he was still going to win or whatever. I don't know, right? So a couple of geezers come up to me. They said, Yami, you got to leave that to the end. You can't do things like that. But then a couple of other geezers came up to me and said, Yami, no, well done. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to see a winner and a loser. And you know that at the end of the day, it's over nonsense, that kind of stuff as well. So that's how that fight done. But Yeah, it wasn't the first time these kind of things. Those that followed my story, I've been involved in a lot of those one-on-ones, isn't I? Right in the middle, like I'm the referee. Coming up in a minute, a Welshman and a man from Brixton going toe to toe.